So I've been getting a lot of requests on how I do my tech, and I think the key to it is having the dexterity to do it in the first place, and then you can really just look at other people and understand their concepts, and create your own. So I want to explain how to build dexterity. You'll see a lot of things like online, kind of like Gregor Wynn's finger fitness, but they just kind of do random combos, like stuff like I don't know, whatever. That doesn't actually help you in tech, because tech is restricted to right angles. So I want to show you some dexterity drills that are focusing on just the right angles that your fingers can make. So this is the digit scale. It's just the combination of the right angles that your fingers can make. See, you have this bend, that bend, that bend, and that bend, right? There's other ones you can do, but those aren't as important right now because, for one, whenever you have lights on, these smaller bends that you can make that are still right angles are just less pronounced. And then there's hidden ones like the backwards angles that you can do. But anyway, you have this idea of a scale, right? And I want to show you how to open the scale. And this is the first dexterity drill. I'm going to show you 3 total dexterity drills. So the first dexterity drill is you have these, and then you have these 3 fingers go to that bend, then those 2 extend to that bend, and then the last one goes to that bend. And then you close it sequentially, right? And then you can do it backwards. You have this backwards digit scale as well. So then you have those 3 fingers, those 2, and then that one. And then you just follow it. Now this is just hard, in the first place. You really have to be able to drill that a lot before you get your angles clean. And even me, I have this kind of bend. I don't know, it's hard to get straight, but yeah. For me at least, this forward one was a lot easier. And the backwards one was just harder to get over time, but for some people it's different. Just depends on your own fingers. But yeah, you wanna just close it and open it sequentially at your side as much as you can, just throughout your day. So then you can just get the feel of that, right? Without even thinking. So that's the first dexterity drill. The second dexterity drill is what I call a cycle, or what most people call a cycle, I guess. And basically it's kind of like a ripple going up your hand. So you have this bend, boom, 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 boom. All right, see, I'm just bouncing the fingers up and getting these different hand shapes. But then you want to be able to do it kind of convoluted. So instead of just bouncing it up, you just switch it. You want to just be able to switch between the hand shapes. So here, 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 here. And that's what makes it a cycle. You're cycling through these digit positions. And then you can do it backwards too. Say I'm starting at this top, here, 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 here. So there's a mirror image, and then you can do kind of an infinite cycle. Practice it both ways, going back. So those are digit cycles. That's another thing that once you kind of just slow that down, slow my video down, whatever, learn how I do that, and then just repeat by your side, it'll increase your dexterity by so much. So now that you know those 2, I'm going to show you a third one in just a minute here, but I want to show you a couple applications of those, so then you can start using both your hands at once and getting used to using that kind of conceptually. So the first one I'm going to show you is kind of difficult. It's using the first dexterity drill. So you start like this. You have your 2 digit scales. You make this box, then you close it, and then you have this vertical line between your middle finger up here and then your ring finger down here, and you close that. And then you close these, and then you switch it, and do the same thing backwards. So this one's kind of just using both of those together, different ways to open and close those, right? So that's using the first kind of dexterity drill. I want to show you one that uses a second dexterity drill, the idea of a cycle. So before I had this cycle, right? You start here, go here, 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 here. Well, if I isolate it, every time, it kind of makes this staircase. And then you can pair those together. So I can just create like a staircase out of my fingers, isolate it down space. And then of course I can do it backwards too. Like I can do it the other way I showed. So I would go like, yeah. So, and then there's also like other ways you can pair it together. After you like learn that combo from the second dexterity drill. For example, I can do offset, where I'll like have this one, like instead of starting here, I'll start here, right? And then I can go down, and then I like learned that at certain points you can kind of like go backwards with one. So like before I was here, but now I can go backwards into that same digit position while cycling the other one. And now I'm in this just different kind of combination. And you can use any of the points that are connected as hinge points to kind of either mirror it or switch to like whatever you want. And just drilling out the different combinations of that two-dimensional grid will really increase your dexterity. And then you'll end up finding kind of like just combos like that, or you know, you can implement different hand shapes into those. So yeah, just like building that dexterity like really gives you access to the full two-dimensional grid. So now, after you like learn those, I'm going to show you something even just with one hand is harder than all of those like combined. So you have this idea of a cycle where you have like a digit kind of just bouncing up like in a ripple, right? You kind of have this momentum going up. Well, when I get to the top, before I just stopped, right? Like I just kind of had it like here and then it stops at the top. Well, what happens if I, you know, go here and then when it hits the top, instead of just leaving it there, I make it bounce back down, right? Well, then I end up getting this where like you can work through it yourself, right? Here, this is like the broken up one. Right, it's a 6 count whenever you look at the different hand shapes that you make, because you have the scale and then boom, 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 right? That one's really hard. Like it took me like a really long time to get. The idea of it, besides just like kind of the momentum, like every digit bouncing back down in the scale sequence, is that you're actually moving digit bends across your hand with like kind of a consistent shape. So for example, I'm gonna have this like fully elongated digit bend move this way, boom, boom, boom. See, and then I have this fully curled digit bend move this way, boom, 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 right? And then I'm back at the start. So say like I want to isolate wherever that digit bend is in space. Then I can say boom, 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 or I can go like boom, 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 right? And then you can, after you like drill that cycle, like that dexterity drill, and really get comfortable with just like all these different possible like hand shapes, this like gives you the ability to do so many things. Like every single point, like you can just like isolate like that and roll across it. Or you can pair them together and isolate them together, right? Or you can use different combinations. Like for example, if I have this one just digit bend, right, and I want to isolate it at this point in space, then I can go like that, right? But there's other combinations you can use. Like say for example, like I do this, which is something you have to practice in itself, right? See, I can go like that, and then of course that allows for different pairings like this. Like say for example, I'm here, right? Then I can combine like that digit cycle like that I showed you earlier, and then this digit cycle because of just like whatever fits. So yeah, like, so again, there's 3 dexterity drills. One is just opening and closing the scale, like the scales in sequence, which is hard. Like, don't even think that like you're just going to be able to do all of these initially, because it's a process. And if you only can do like one of them, like for example, like, you know, it's just the forward scale and not like the backward scale, then that's fine. Just practice that for a bit, and then eventually you'll be able to do them all. Just takes practice. But yeah, so just to reiterate, there's three of them, right? Opening, closing the digit scale in sequence. Then there's the cycles. And then there is the full scale digit wave isolation or digit cycle, whatever you want to call it, which is this. And again, it's a 6 count, right? That one's probably like the hardest one to do. And other than that, you can apply the idea of cycles to different loci, I guess, on your fingers. So like whenever I started here, I kind of just went up like that, right? I started with this pointer finger. Well, what if I kind of start the ripple from this middle finger, right? And then I just extend it outwards. So then I would go boom, 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 boom. See, and then I end up getting boom, 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 boom. Or if I do it with the ring, then it's boom, 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 boom. Or if I do it with the pinky, like I showed you before, there's that. And then that allows you for these different kind of like isolation combos, right? Where you're kind of like walking down the space, starting kind of like in these like staircase ripples from different fingers. And there's even more you can do. Like you can do it with like this weird hand shape as well. Like starting from this middle finger, I'm only doing the ring out, and then I'm doing the pointer and pinky out, and then I push it up even farther, and those two are connected still. So, and then this one also kind of works in a digit cycle if you like really want to venture out. I really haven't drilled that one as much, but it kind of like involves, I think, these. Like if I say, okay, like that one goes down, and then I don't even know, but you can work that out. That's just the basis for the concepts of isolated digit waves, cycles, and scales. And just practicing those three dexterity drills whenever you can do them will just increase your dexterity significantly, and you can apply whatever concepts that you want otherwise, and hinges, whatever you want to do, and there's so much to the grid.